All right, we're live. We did it. The most professional start thus far. Episode 11, 12, 13. Obviously our best one so far. So maybe. I don't know if it's 11, 12, 13. I have a lot of trouble.
I think this might be 8.
8. Okay. 8 sounds good. That sounds like a good number. Yeah. All right. It is Thanksgiving weekend. I feel like most people know that America, we still like that Thanksgiving. Mostly we just like it as foreplay to shopping because we like to eat food. That's the two big draws of it. But something people sometimes do is they like to talk about what they are thankful for. When morale was very low at the day job where I worked, they would encourage us every November to, like, every day talk about something we were thankful for. I think it was a Facebook phenomenon too for a while, where people would, like, 24 days of thanks or some nonsense like that, and they talk about what they were thankful for. And it's all, it's all well and good. It's cool. A lot's going on in the tabletop world right now, especially the Dungeons & Dragons tabletop world. And there's been a lot of unsettling rumors surrounding 1D&D, which, by the way, I think the survey closed for that. I hope everybody remembered to fill out the survey for 1D&D. That did close Monday or Tuesday, I believe. Something like that. But there was a leak, apparently, or an alleged leak, that third-party content would not continue to be supported on 1D&D, that they were thinking about making everything a bit more in-house, a bit more under their control. And that had a lot of people worried, a lot of people upset. And for independent publishers that make their money off of Dungeons & Dragons, the combination of Twitter falling apart and also this rumor was plus the holidays, a lot of people were spiraling out of control emotionally and mentally. It was real bad. Wizards has since released a very non-committal comment that, don't worry, brah, 3rd edition will be fine. I'm paraphrasing, but that's generally the gist of the thing. They don't explain how they'll be okay. They don't explain how things are going to work. Currently, this is how it works if you're publishing third-party content for Dungeons & Dragons. We've talked about this before, but you've got two options, really. You've got Dungeon Masters Guild, and you've got everywhere else. And if you are struggling with everywhere else, there is DriveThruRPG, which is like the twin brother, baby sister of Dungeon Masters Guild. And essentially, what's the big difference here? Well, Dungeon Masters Guild, they take 50% of all your money. And also, everything you make, they can be like, cool, that's ours too. Which is a little rough. Over here, DriveThruRPG, they will either take 30% of all the money you make if you promise to only sell your product through DriveThruRPG, or they will take 35% and you are allowed to sell it anywhere else you want. Your own websites, your booth at a convention, Roll20 store, Foundry VTT, over on the Forge Bazaar. Lots of cool places you can sell stuff. How do you differentiate between what goes in the Dungeon Masters Guild and what goes here? Alright, so Dungeon Masters Guild is if you mention basically anything about it actually being Dungeons & Dragons, it has to go on the Dungeon Masters Guild. You'll notice that anything related to 5th edition D&D on DriveThruRPG never actually tells you it's about 5th edition D&D. It says this is an adventure for the world's greatest role-playing game. This is an adventure for 5e. 5e what? They can't tell you that. They can't tell you. So if you want to have an official Dungeons & Dragons product, you got to put it on Dungeon Masters Guild. An official product is very much official. In fact, if you publish something to Dungeon Masters Guild, you have to tie it to one of the pre-established campaign settings that exist. That is a requirement to get published on DM's Guild. You have to make it official to Dungeons & Dragons. A huge difference between the two platforms. So independent publishing, I can't mention Mind Flayer. I can't tell you to use your player's handbook. I can't tell you to get the monster stats out of the monster manual. As far as we know, I wrote an adventure for a mystery game called 5e. We have no idea what game it is. It's just called 5e. I don't know what the game is. But I can never call it Dungeons & Dragons. I can never embrace everything that it is. Meanwhile, Dungeon Masters Guild, you have to. You have to be like, this takes place north of Waterdeep. Xanathar's there. Druid Steward's underpants are a drop-off of one of the monsters. Like, you have to make it as official as you possibly can. So, that kind of establishes that. What does it mean to be third party, right? We talked about this before, me and Dom.
Yeah.
And so, Dom, if you want to sum up our last conversation about third party, like just get us caught up on this.
I mean, it's pretty much anything that hasn't been really officially released from Wizard of the Coast themselves. So, I mean, like everything that's on DM's Guild, pretty much, and everything on Drive the RPG, pretty much, third party. The main conversation we had before was about like homebrew and
is homebrew third party?
I think so. Yeah, that's what we came to. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
We came up with like different levels of official, right? Like what is the most like vague third party and what is the most official third party? On DM's Guild, you got Keith Baker, the creator of Eberron, putting out entire professional level books on DM's Guild, and his stuff is still considered third party because it was not officially published by Wizards of the Coast. You've got Lex on our server, who every couple weeks makes a new homebrew class or subclass or thing and kind of puts it out there to share with everybody. That's third party, right? So there's different levels to it. The game would suffer without third party. We know this because 4th edition crashed and burned really hard. And a big part of why 4th edition crashed and burned really hard is they were so upset about what happened with Pathfinder. They didn't want that to happen again. They didn't want somebody to steal their game, which is how they viewed it, and then make it better and then outperform them with their own game. They did not want that to happen again. So they built 4th edition from the ground up, something completely different, something completely new, was outside of the D20 SRD, all that. And it was a great game, and it was very fun, but it didn't have any support. Like, there was only a handful of people out there who were publishing free materials because you couldn't make any money off of it to support the product. And it just, how do you compete when your competitor has everyone in the world empowered to make content? You know, you can't compete with that. So it also just felt like they were telling people, we don't want your help, we don't want your opinions, we don't want you to be involved, you don't have a seat at the table anymore. By opening the rules back up, they told people, come back, help us make this game great. And we're at a point now where every official WotC product that comes out, you know that you're going to have to go pick up some DLC, some fan content, some third-party content to make it good, to finish it up, to make it better. Curse of Strahd is an amazing product in and of itself, but I've found so many amazing things to add on to Curse of Strahd that the community has made, that third parties have made. It just makes it a better game. 4th edition, so much harder to find that kind of stuff. So there is that fear. You know, what if one D&D locks out that independent creator, right? That third-party creator. That's going to be terrible. What if they make it so restrictive and so expensive to do things third-party that you don't want to anymore? These are problems for future us to worry about. There's nothing that we could do right now. Wizards of the Coast gave their official statement. We're just kind of waiting to find out what happens. So rather than harp on and worry about all that negative stuff, we're going to embrace this holiday season. And we're going to talk about the mods, the DLC, the third-party content that we are most thankful for. So, I have a few. I have quite a few. But I'm gonna go last. So I did ask on our server, our Discord server, for some stuff. And then Dom, I mean, I think everybody's curious what your favorite stuff is. So you throw one out first. Oh, I can't actually check it because then we won't be able to see the camera. Hold on, I'll check on my phone. There we go. Yeah. So Dom, get us started. What is just list one off. What's one of your favorite third parties?
My favorite that we've been using since I joined the server has been the monster maker from Giphy Glyphs.
Giphy Glyphs, strong pull. Absolutely. So let me put that into chat. A lot of people, if you watch our games, you know that we have some pretty nuts boss fights, and we have some pretty rough and rowdy house rules, and we have a couple of things that people, I think, they love and they hate, and they cannot live without. We were doing a playtest earlier today using SRD rules, and it was very stale. It was very stale with the SRD rules. Succeed at a cost, active initiative, to a certain extent crafting systems, Paragon bosses. This is all stuff found in Giphy. So of all the stuff that is available on Giphy, what is your favorite? You said the Monster Maker? Like hands down?
Oh man. It's a tie between Monster Maker and active initiative. I mean, I can survive. I'm not gonna be happy about it, but I can survive without, succeed at a cost and boons and complications.
Right.
But but I definitely want to have active initiative at any time I can have it. So, and then also the monsters from making monsters using the Giphy Glyphs calculator and his system and everything like that. Much better. I like Paragon monsters.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Giphy just offers a lot of stuff that, to me, is the perfect fusion of 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th edition D&D. I feel like he has been around long enough, he's played enough D&D, he knows... Hey, what's up, Brewdog? He knows what was fun, and he knows what is fun for the kind of game he wants to run, the flavor of game he wants to run, which is a harder, meaner Dungeons & Dragons that focuses on tough monster fights and starting weak and trying to get strong. You know what I mean? Like, that's... Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan, and a lot of the responses we got in general chat today when we asked the question was Giphy. That'd be tough, though. If I had to pick one thing from Giphy... I don't know. I could honestly, I could probably take or lose active initiative. I could probably live without active initiative. As a DM and as a player, it's just so much easier to play D&D without active initiative. But it is in my opinion very stale. Like, it's very static. Sometimes you're into that, but one of my favorite video games of all time, Final Fantasy Tactics, it had an initiative system, but it also rewarded you for, in sort of a Pathfinder 2 kind of way, for not using all of your action points, right? Your turn came up, and if you still had actions left, your next turn would come up faster because you didn't use all your stuff. And in a way, that sort of felt like active initiative, right? Because my guy's turn comes up, but I'm not ready for them to go yet. So I pass their turn, and then I don't have to wait the full cycle for the turn to come back around. Yeah. So like, I think that you're going to get a better, more exciting game with active initiative, and it would be sad to lose it. But if somebody told me, if I was like in a Saw movie, and they were like, you can only keep one thing from all the amazing stuff that Giphy Glyphs has made, you can only keep one thing for your Dungeons & Dragons game. Whew, that'd be a hard choice.
If I had to do that, it'd probably be Paragon monsters.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'll keep that.
I don't think I could go back. I don't think I could go back to legendary monsters just being like, I could do like 2 things and they cost a fortune.
I would you make a custom legendary monster and just make it 7 enough legendary action points to work like a Paragon monster. But
well, I mean, towards the end there, before Giphy Glyphs, I was like, well, every legendary monster can dash, and every legendary monster can dodge, and every legendary... And so at that point, you're almost there, right? You're almost a Paragon monster at that point, so... Yeah. And that's like 4th edition. They had action points instead of legendary actions. So a monster had an action point, it could just use it to do any action it wanted. So... Yeah. I would definitely keep the monster making system if I could only pick one thing. He has a lot of great ideas. But succeed at a cost.
I can live without Succeed at a Cost.
Well,
I mean, I
you roll so much better than I do, though. I mean, I need it. You know what I'm saying? I need it to survive as a player. You know, like I gotta have that. I'll just play rogues.
You just need to learn how to roll like a DM when you're a player.
Oh, that's it. I gotta trick the dice. Dice.
You gotta pretend. You gotta narrate what you're doing like a DM when you're rolling, so that the dice hears like, oh, I'm supposed to be a monster right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any problem rolling as a DM.
Yeah.
Shit.
Like when I was narrating those baggies life story while they're fighting, I was rolling really well.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So let's see. Did anybody in chat suggest anything besides Giphy Glyphs? Let me go down the list here.
I have a quick second. All the monster drops from Anne. And,
Gergeson. Gergeson stuff. Okay.
And Hammond stuff.
All right, let's see. And Gergeson. Am I spelling it wrong?
Those actually, I'm looking at my Drive-Thru RPG library. Those are the first things I bought from her. From Drive-Thru RPG was her monster loot stuff.
Yeah.
Ryan.
So Anne Gregerson. Anne Gregerson is basically an android. She just cranks out content. It's absolutely phenomenal, the amount of work that she has created, and her loot system is solid. I wouldn't use it biblically. Like, there are some drops where it's like, this monster drops this thing that basically lets you do this thing that's very, very strong and powerful, and it's like, I don't know if we're gonna use that item. But generally, the items are really balanced and they're really thematic to what's going on. She's got a very simple crafting system, and also her Bloodied and Bruised books.
Oh, she does Bloodied and Bruised?
Oh yeah, Bloodied and Bruised is good stuff. Let me tell you, Curse of Strahd, without too many spoilers, when them suits of armor exploded, both groups were like, say what? Like, they could not believe it. And I was just like, oh, it's just getting started, baby. Every monster's got this stuff. Every monster in the campaign's got this stuff. It's bananas. It is bananas. What a great way to add like some 4th edition monster flavor to these boring ass claw bite monsters. When they get bloodied and they immediately get to attack you, oh my god, right? You really start to kind of track like how much damage you're dealing, because you're like, I don't want to be standing next to that thing when I get it to half its hit points, because I don't want to take another hit from that creature. Like, I'm barely surviving the hits I'm taking right now. Yeah, her Bloodied and Bruised series is fantastic. Just quality product. And so much. Like, look at this. So much product. We're looking at 122 different published items from Anne. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, she does good stuff. Then we got Hammond series, which they've actually expanded to more than just... let's see. How do we spell Hammond? 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 Yeah, there we go. So Hammond series, you've got your harvesting books, volumes 1 through 3, I believe they're up to. And then they've actually started releasing his herbalism book, which we are using for Curse of Strahd, by the way. So the herbalism book is actually pretty legit. I haven't got to use it in play yet. Now, what I like to think with Hammond stuff is his stuff is very overpowered, right? Like, everything drops magic items, essentially. Like, every monster in the world drops magic items. So Hammond's is good if you want a really high level, like high octane, very strong, like I'm making awesome magic items all the time campaign. Hammond's is where to go. Anne's is where you go if you want a bit more restraint, I think, with your crafting, with your monster drops and stuff like that. The two work perfectly together if you save all the Hammond stuff for like your boss monsters and your elite monsters and your like really cool monsters. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, T-Pain in chat says Kobold Press is really good. Well, we sort of like Kobold Press a little bit over here, just a little bit. Yeah, Kobold Press. Let's go check them out real quick. The number one thing I always think of when I think of Kobold Press is their monsters. I know that they make more than monsters. Apparently, they make a very cool Viking-esque setting called Midgard, where you could play as bear people. Here it is, Midgard. And it's very expansive and very big, and they have like an interactive world map and all sorts of other stuff. Yeah. It's really cool. So yeah, Kobold Press, definitely a great third-party publisher. And you will notice as you read their stuff, they never say that they are about Dungeons and Dragons. They do say D&D down here. I don't know what D&D stands for. It could be anything, honestly. There's any two words to start with a D. But they also are in that third party. They don't want to be stuck on the DM's Guild. So we're not sure if Midgard's for Dungeons & Dragons, guys. It's for 5th edition, and it's also for D&D. But I don't know if it's for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons from Wizards of the Coast owned by Hasbro. It's completely a mystery where it's for, what it's actually for. But yeah, they make amazing monsters. I love all of the monsters from their stuff. Some of their monsters are a little strong, and that's me saying that. They're a little strong. And some of them are incredibly flavorful and interesting, and just mechanically kind of a throwaway. But one of the things I love about Kobold Press's monsters is I could look at any entry in one of their monster manuals, and I could write an adventure on the spot about that monster. That's how flavorful and interesting their monsters are. It's very rare that you go through there and you're like, claw bite. Nice. That's got a claw bite monster here. It's exciting. They have a lot of thought and lore that goes into these monsters, and some of them are just so evocative of like fun adventures that could be wrapped up around them. Even the ones that mechanically they can't even hold their own in a fight, they're still so interesting that their existence could cause an adventure to happen. And in a way, that's kind of fun, because then you have a really interesting adventure that's not super high stakes combat-wise. Which, again, apparently, I've been told, D&D doesn't always have to be life or death high stakes. Like, apparently, sometimes people just like to hang out and, have adventures or something. I don't know. It's a thing that I guess that happens. I don't know. I'll work on it. I'm working on it. 2023, new me. We're gonna have some gentle Curse of Strahd games. Yeah,
we've had some of those in the beach episodes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sometimes we ease it up.
Oh, and never mind. And then we also, during one of our downtime episodes, we ended up getting attacked by geeses.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. It's always high octane.
Oh, we've got Valda's Spire of Secrets was another one that got shouted out quite a bit. So yes. Valda's Spire of Secrets, they had a Kickstarter. It was pretty cool. I remember I backed this at the last minute.
Thanks, Kotrick, for that expiration.
Oh, very nice.
We're gonna need it.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna need it in the longest room. The longest room. Let me write that down. Mythic Skotrick. All right, so Valda's Spire, I have it, I think, just ready to rock because we use it all the time. There it is. Just the cutest, sexiest lich you're ever going to see right there. But this is a chonkers book. Like, this was not a timid third-party product. Like, they were like, listen, y'all, we're going to make a book, and it's not just going to be a bunch of, like, subclasses. Nah, baby. We're going to make full-on real classes. And they made a lot of them. Alchemist, Captain, Craftsman, which is just a game-changing crafting system hidden inside a character. Those of you who struggle to DM for Artificer, be warned. The Gunslinger, way better than the Matt Mercer one. Investigator, Martyr, Necromancer, Warden, Warmage, and Witch. And then they still went and threw some other stuff in there as well. So it's like really, really good. It's really, really good. That's just the classes. They also added some new races, which are kind of hit or miss. A big hit on our server is the stuffies, the stuffed animal people. What are they called? Gepetin. There we go. These cuties right here at Jabare. So that's a great question I want to ask. What is your favorite thing from Valda's, Tom? Valda's got a lot of good stuff in there. What's your favorite thing from Valda's?
Probably the exotic weapons.
Ooh, okay.
I haven't got a chance to use them, but seeing them has been pretty cool, and I want to use them. I'm hoping to use them when we went in Curse of Strahd.
Very briefly when I got to play in Curse of Strahd before the game kind of fell apart for tragic reasons. Yeah, I had a weapon. I had a steel witch from Valda's, and I went full into like custom special weapons, like Bayonetta kind of nonsense. I had the tentacle hair and like the whip sword, and we were throwing bombs everywhere. It was very cool. It was very cool. And the exotic armor is actually really cool too. There's a lot of neat things you can do. And then of course they have the Monster Hunter-esque combo items.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like their firearm rules. I think the firearm rules are very simplified. Like, there's so many people that have attempted to do firearms, the DM's guide included. They never feel strong enough to justify why anyone invented them in the first place. Like, that's the big problem I have. Like, with D&D guns, like, I don't mind if you have guns in D&D, I just don't know why you would have guns in D&D, because they're just not good mechanically.
Yeah.
Valda's is like, but they are good, as we saw in Curse of Strahd already. Like, holy crap. It's almost like guns were invented to be an equalizer for weak humans to take on incredibly powerful enemies. It's weird. But yeah, like, even the older tech stuff still deals beefy damage. I mean, really big damage on these guns. And I think that if you're going to have guns and you want them to actually feel different, this is a good source for that. All right, what's your least favorite thing for Valda's?
Oh. Some of the subclasses for either the classes they made or the subclasses that they've done are kind of hit or miss. Like, I mean, they're probably jokey and fun.
Oh, like Spider-Man Rogue.
Like I like the flavor and like it's cool, but like they're also not. They're also like, you know, if you're trying to like if for one shot, yeah, that'd be fun to mess around with. But like if you wanted to play it the entire time, like what'd you call it? Elliot's subclass for Alchemist, the Amorous. I mean, the best part about that is I got skills that were tied to intelligence that weren't normally intelligence.
Okay.
I mean, but it other than that, nothing really came from it. But I do like the flavor of the classes. Just some of them are kind of in terms of mechanics.
Chat is shouting out Matt Colville's Beast Heart. Now, Matt Colville and crew, they've made some amazing stuff. I had people shout on Discord about Strongholds and Followers. I have used Stronghold and Followers since before Strongholds and Followers came out, when he was just talking about making the book and he was giving like previews of the book and stuff like that. I like it, and it 100% is the system that was in place in 2nd edition. In 2nd edition, when you got to like 9th or 10th level, they were like, now you get followers. And it was really exciting to get these followers. It was like really cool. You often didn't know what the hell to do with them once you had them, but it was really cool to get them. And I feel like that captured that really well. But also, I haven't really had occasion to use that in any game since Scales of War. So it's not for me like one of my favorite products or whatever, but I definitely understand the appeal there, because everything from Matt Colville's team has a lot of love and attention and detail put into it. And something that I keep running into, I've never had anybody ask to play an Illrigger. I've never played an Illrigger, and I've never gotten any feedback about an Illrigger except they strong. But I have been DMing for and playing alongside a Beast Heart, and I gotta say, it's a pretty good class. Yeah, I think it's very well designed. Very well designed. Here's the Illrigger, by the way. It's basically like a Paladin Warlock without having to multi-class to be a Paladin Warlock. But Beast Heart, when I saw that you could have a gelatinous cube as your companion, I was like, well, I'm sold. That's fine. The issue I have with Beast Heart is action economy wise, you have 2 characters. Just like a captain from Valda's, you have 2 characters. Like, don't tell me this is a pet class. This isn't a pet class. You have 2 characters. Your animal companion or your monster companion as Beast Heart is very strong, and it is very capable. I would definitely qualify this as basically having two characters. I would not want to allow this in a big group. We have 6 players in Red-Handed Doom. And Lexaeus is just an amazing player and knows the class really well. Otherwise, it would drag, I think, to have a big group and have the Beast Heart there. But it's a really good class. Yeah. Do you have a particular Colville product, MCDM, that you like or dislike?
I haven't really used a lot of his stuff. I've listened to him his DMing, videos and stuff like that, but I haven't used any of his products really.
Well,
so Beast Heart's the closest thing. The only product I've actually encountered with him.
How do you feel about that though, as a DM?
I enjoy it, and I think it's cool. This is what I think about when I think of like the Beast Heart Ranger, right? Somebody who actually has a pet.
Oh, this is what the Beast Companion Ranger was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Of the Beastmaster. Yeah.
I mean, it's just a strength version of that, but you could also do a Dex version. And that's what Orion is. So, I like it.
Yeah. It to me it feels like the Worlds of Warcraft hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Properly done for Dungeons and Dragons, especially when you consider all the 15 different companions, and then you could just reskin those companions to be whatever you need them to be. So you could have any kind of companion you want. I don't know. Like, as a player, if I could find a small group for a short campaign, it'd be tempting to try to play a Beast Heart. But I'd only want to play one, I think, in a smaller group, because I'd be worried about taking up too much action economy. But imagine a small group of like 3 players, but everyone is a class. That'd be cool. Like a pet class, like an actual necromancer from Valda's, a captain, and a Beast Heart. Oh man. Oh, you could do a wisdom version also?
Yeah, I just saw that from Red. Yeah. Okay. Apparently, I guess.
Wow. Cool. That's very cool.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know what the subclasses are for this class.
It's really well done. It's a beefy book too. Do I have it downloaded locally? Let's see. Beast Heart. Here we go. All right. So the Beast Heart is 48 pages for one class. You want to talk about putting some love and attention into a product. Oh my god, 48 pages for one class. They really, really, really wanted you to be able to play a pet caster and have it done correctly. They didn't just dial this in. They didn't say, oh yeah, you got this thing. They walk you through every possible thing that you could have. I don't know. I feel like if you're making a class from scratch, it needs to have this level of attention. No offense to Valda's, but I don't think that any of the Valda's classes are as well developed, as well balanced, and as well tested as the Beast Heart from Colville. Like, I think they just tried to do too many things, whereas they focus on, like Colville's team just focuses on one thing at a time. So, yeah. Man. Let's see. Oh, yeah. And then they got the companions dying. Good stuff. Alright. Alright, let's see. Was there any other shouts in chat earlier today? Glyph, Cobalt Press, Heroic Maps. That's a good point.
Oh yeah, Heroic Maps. All the map makers.
Yeah, are all the map makers that we love and follow? Is that third party content, or are they just making maps? Like, is that?
Well, I know Heroic Maps definitely third party content because of they make maps for. Some of these adventures.
Oh, that's true. They did Xanathar's Lair. Yeah.
Yeah, like I got their stuff for Candlekeep. When I was planning to run Waterdeep Dragon Heist, they have some stuff for that. Mm-hmm. They have stuff for what you call it?
Here we go. Yeah, the Candlekeep, and then Waterdeep Dragon Heist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I played through Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and I would have loved to have maps this sexy for this house. Because spoilers, you sort of get this house, but it would have been really cool to have like such. Look at it, every single floor. Oh, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. They have the spoilers. They have the broken down version and the fixed up version too, so it's great.
So I would argue that Zapiku, Tom Cardos, Heroic Maps, Afternoon Maps, all these guys and girls and people that are making these maps, this is third-party content because of, for me, I can look at, and this is actually becoming a business model for me, I can look at one of these maps and just, there's an adventure. There's an adventure in that map. Like, I can be like, man, I want to do some stuff for like my crew. They want to do like a little, we want to do some side quests or whatever. I don't know what to do though. I could look at some of these maps and just be like, oh yeah, I know what we're doing here. Excellent. And then as I am coming up with stuff for them to do, I just look at the map, and the map is telling a story. The map is showing me things that can be done, places where like an ambush could happen, or a really cool boss fight, or a really cool encounter. This is a perfect place to put a trap. A good map can help you tell a story. A good map can tell that story with you. And so, yeah, I'm going to say that a good quality map is definitely third-party content. And I'm definitely grateful for all that third-party, content creators out there. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a hard question right here.
Okay.
If you had to pick one of all the map makers that are out here, which one would you?
Wow. I had to pick only one map maker forever.
And you had to use only them.
Okay. Well, this is gonna be a real shitty answer. I would pick myself, because
you can still make your own maps too.
Okay. Because I was gonna say I worked pretty hard to get good at making maps, so I would definitely pick myself.
That's the safest bet, because you can always have something for whatever you need.
Absolutely. So take that, evil genie. But if I did have to answer anyone else, I would probably pick Heroic Maps. I'm working with them, and I want to keep working with them. But also their style is detailed, but not like photorealistic. It has sort of a hand-painted look to it that I like, and they have over 1,000 different maps now that they've made. So like, and that includes tile sets. So like, I feel like the flexibility is there within the library. Yeah. Another one, if you're looking for just raw, I could only have one, would be Tom Cardos, because Tom Cardos has a huge library, and if you are a decent rank patron or whatever, he gives you all of the assets he uses to make every map. And he's partnered with Dungeon Draft, so you can just feed his content into Dungeon Draft and essentially be your own Tom Cardos. And he's that confident in his work and his style that he doesn't worry about it. Like people going out there making stuff with his stuff. He just knows people are going to come back for more. Those are two very solid choices as far as if you could only have one map maker. Yeah, for sure. Well, you know what? I'm going to turn around to you. If you could only pick one map maker, who would you pick?
So it's a very hard choice, but yeah. I feel like for me, with the stuff that I usually use, is probably Afternoon Maps. I use them too much.
Such gorgeous work too.
Yeah,
such gorgeous work. And you are so good with Incarnate, and Incarnate has the exact same style as Afternoon Maps, so they can like.
I'll be missing. Like I'm looking at my my drive-through RPG like library, and I'm like I have like 100 and something items here, and like I'm pretty sure like 50 or 60 of those are just heroic maps.
Amazing.
So like I know I use them a lot too.
Yeah. For me, they are definitely the go-to, but Tom definitely would also qualify for if you could only do one. People like Zapiku, for example, their maps are too showpiece to be your only map provider. Yeah. Is my take on it.
If you were like a Theater Mind with only maps for your set piece moments, sure.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. But again, if I could only pick one, that's definitely what it would be. So Lex points out that the people that are building Foundry modules, and I guess to a certain extent the people that are doing API work for Roll20, those are technically third-party people because they are going outside the normal thing to make content. If we're saying that maps are third-party content that help us with our games, then sure, yeah, absolutely. I would say modules are another thing that helps with the games. To a certain extent, yeah. Oh,
I can't think
no,
enough.
Lex is saying Tom makes his maps as modules. Yeah, for sure. Like, Tom and Zapiku and a lot of them, Mikwewa, Meditating Monkey, they're all on the Bazaar. And I know that Tom and Heroic Maps are over on Roll20. And I know Zapiku's on Roll20 as well. I think Mikwewa is over there too. But yeah. But kind of building on that, I would say that that modules are third-party content. I don't know if I would put them in the same level as people that are defining the way I play my games. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, they kind of are for me.
Yeah.
Some of the modules, yeah. I mean, because I only DM online. I've never DM'd in person or something. Yeah. Like the only time I ever DM or play D&D is online, and it's pretty much only in Foundry right now. So like, you know, if what you call it, the way token mold helps me figure out what my monsters are doing.
Fair enough.
You know, like us, you know, automatically hiding blind rolls. Like if you had to do automatically hiding blind rolls in real life, like playing at the table, how would you do that?
I would buy or build a DM screen where the players dump their dice down a particular tower. And then the dice appear on my side, and then I have to pass the dice back to them, which is a real pain in the ass. Yeah.
Yeah, but like if you're sitting at like a table and people are standing on, you know, on the other side, they have to get up, go over to your DM screen, drop the dice in, and then go back and sit down.
I mean, in that situation, you just roll for them, which I mean, that feels bad for the player not to get to roll the dice. Yeah. That's true.
So like that part of that is helping me. You know, these things are a lot of this stuff is affecting the way I play.
So, okay, fair enough. If they are third party and they are integral to your process, then what are your, on this day of giving thanks, what are your top 3 Foundry mods? What are the 3 Foundry mods that you're the most thankful for on this day of giving? Thanks.
Token mold,
okay.
Yeah, I couldn't like just having the little acronyms for the little prefixes and stuff like that, descriptors of monsters when they're drawn out has helped me so much in terms of trying to just figure out, okay, what is this monster going to do? So that's number 1. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the other ones now. 2 more.
Just your top 3, the 3 that you're the most thankful for.
I mean, there's stuff that I'm thankful for just having it in Foundry, not so much thankful for how it makes me play D&D.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so I'm trying to think of a lot of stuff that affects how I play D&D or run D&D.
I mean, Lancer Initiative.
Yeah, Lancer, because I like
Popcorn,
what'd you call it?
Active.
Popcorn. Yeah.
Okay.
And then probably last is
the hidden rolls, right? Crash's hidden rolls.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I can't use it right now because I'm on 10. It doesn't work for 10, so I haven't been able to use it.
All right.
But there's that one. Yeah, I would say there's a tie between that and, you know, when we had better rolls and what you call it, and ready set roll, because of the whole rolling 2 dice at once and having everything go together, and it makes us we treat combat a little bit more seriously because we're able to speed through a lot of that stuff because of those mods. Like if I know like if we were playing normally and trying to go through all this, having everything being calculated, going back and forth to try and do advantage, doing extra dices and stuff like that, I know those would be we would try to speed through we'd probably have less combat.
Well, you had asked earlier in the week about how do people feel about their DM hand-waving encounters or rolls that are beneath their power level. And I'm really bad about that because, I mean, I feel like people are paying for content when they play with me, right? They're paying to play. And so I feel like they want to get to new content. And so it made me think, though, that I really should kind of check in with my players and see, like, do you guys want me to, be like, well, I mean, you're going to whoop these things' ass, but roll the dice. Let's see how bad you whoop their ass. Like, let's do it. IRL games, I will definitely offer to skip content because setting up the battle, rolling the initiative, getting all the minis set up, getting everything, like if we mathematically know what's going to happen, like why are we doing this? Do you know what I'm saying? Like why are we really going through all the motions for this? But yeah, in VTT, yeah, not a problem. All right, let's see. If I had to pick 3 that are just very, very good third-party content, I would say Better Rolls, because I'm not on 10, so Better Rolls is still very important to me. Token Mold for sure, because I love all the funny names that it gives stuff and things like that. And then JB2 Animations. JB2 Animations is like the backbone of good visuals. I don't even use the animations nearly as much as like you or Red, you know what I'm saying? But like I still think that it's they're fantastic. As far as like third-party content creators that are really pouring their heart and soul out into it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
JB2 Animations giving thanks, #thanks on this Thanksgiving to JB2A Animations, because they work so hard to make everybody's games look so good. And somehow optimize their shit so well. Like, I do not know how they optimize their animations so well. It's ridiculous. And I guess on that note, Benios Maps, absolutely phenomenal. You guys are just now getting into Benios's 3D maps or whatever, but he did the entire world of Barovia, from top to bottom, from left to right, above ground, below ground. Just incredible work. A true passion project from him that is going to make the campaign look and feel absolutely amazing. So big shout to them as well. We got MIDI Quality of Life, JB2A Animation, Dice So Nice, which should be a freaking standard feature by now, but it's still not. Yes, these are people that are out there making our games better, and we should be thankful for that. Absolutely. I don't think that they're going to be roughly impacted by third-party, content stuff, but they are, in a way, supporting us just like third-party content does.
Yeah.
All right, another one that came up. Let's see. Also, right now, I think Gyoza is running Matt Colville's latest third-party content, the Monsters and Minions stuff. He's doing a TPK scenario right now. Let's see. I was gonna say
all the people who make additions to written modules, like the Daniel Kahn stuff for Witchlight, and the stuff that came out for the stuff for Rhyme that I used. Those people, like those people who put a lot of work to make a Wizard of Coast adventure, a good adventure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So we talk about Daniel's work all the time, but this guy, again, you talk about a person that they put everything they have into making great products. He is always working, always producing, always has a bunch of stuff cooking at the same time. Monster Weaknesses, I'm using that for Curse of Strahd as well. I used almost all of the Witchlight stuff for my Witchlight campaigns.
I just realized that the stuff that I used for Rhyme was from Daniel Kahn as well.
Yep, Towers of Magic, and all those side quests. So, yeah, definitely a good shout there. Another one, Lunch Break Heroes. They did an entire supplement for Curse of Strahd, which touches on every single part of the campaign and offers solutions to a lot of the weird plot holes and things that people just agreed were too fucked up or too difficult or too weird, and they offer nice solutions to that. That whole Curse of Strahd community is bananas. Mandy Mods and all of them. They did so much work to take an already great campaign and make it spectacular. So those are good. Let's see. Valda's. Oh, the D10,000 Wild Magic table.
Oh boy.
So think about it this way. Somebody wrote a 10,000 result Wild Magic search table. Not 1,000. Not 2,000. 10,000 10,000 things. They came up with 10,000 things for this table. It's incredible. And also, what's wild is they did it twice, because there's actually a second version of it that has 10,000 more things, but it never really caught on. But it's wild to me that somebody did that. You want to talk about third-party content, pouring your heart and soul into it. Oh my god. And and we've talked about all the fan stuff when we talked about finding the right flavor for your game. We talked about the people that did, 500 pages worth of Monster Hunter stuff, 600 pages worth of Worlds of Warcraft stuff. We've talked about hundreds of pages of Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda stuff. There's everything you could possibly imagine, because the rules are open and people are allowed and encouraged to build using those rules. We can play any kind of 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons we want. It's all out there. It's all available. It's fantastic. Let's see. Any other mentions? Strongholds and Followers, Hammond's Harvesting, Valda. Let's see. Grim Hollow. Yeah, okay. I'm enjoying Grim Hollow. I would say that the Grim Hollow has been very useful for me for writing my own Gothic horror setting, because I think it is a very strong third-party horror setting. I think it's really well done. I think the world's really well developed. And the system they came up with to handle transformations, where your character gets to be a werewolf, gets to become a vampire, gets to become a lich. They actually have pretty good mechanics for helping the dungeon master manage that, so you don't have to arbitrarily kind of hand wave it or just figure it out, and it can feel a bit more equitable. And they also have a very cool background leveling system that none of us have ever actually tried to use. But I think it's kind of cool. I don't want to do it, but right now. But if I only ran one game a week, I think I would, because I would only have that one game, I would want to do all kinds of dumb stuff with it. Have very advanced background system and very advanced backstory integration, and I don't know. And I think that this particular setting from Ghostfire Gaming, who also makes some really great products, I feel like this would be a great campaign setting to be your one and only, your premier game. This setting kind of encourages that, because it's just so detailed and there's so many cool mechanics that you could use for it.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got? Players A5E. A5E. That's definitely some third-party content right there. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. Advanced 5E. And you'll notice that it doesn't say that it's 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. It just says it's advanced 5th edition. We don't know.
It's level up advanced 5th edition.
But we don't know what edition it's referring to. We have no idea. We just know that
it's the 5th edition of Level Up. What are you talking about?
There you go. Okay, that makes sense now. This is okay. I thought maybe it was Dungeons & Dragons, but I'm a fool, because if it was actually Dungeons & Dragons, it would be on the DM's Guild, as we established at the beginning of the podcast. So, Jared shouted these guys out because he said it was the first time that his players felt that there was some equity between casters and non-casters. Now, he didn't say that there was. He just said that they felt like there was. But I mean, it's a start. It's a start. You got to start somewhere. All right. So, let's see. How do I feel about Level Up? I like it. It's a lot. It's a lot of content. I was defeated by how much content there was. I sat down to read it, and I was like, bitch, if I read this much, I might as well learn Pathfinder 2. That's kind of where I was at. I was like, I ain't going to read no 500 pages of more 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons rules. If I read 500 pages of rules, it's going to be that big fat Pathfinder book right there on the shelf. That's what I'm going to read. But there were some amazing ideas that were put forward in this. Some amazing ideas. I love the divorcing of culture from race. I thought that was really well done, and I thought that was handled pretty well. And having played a martial, enjoying the changes to martial, yes, I'm into it. I'm into it. Oh, T-Pain says A5E has their own Foundry system. How is that going?
Yeah, they do.
How is that going? Is it pretty
yet.
good? I know it was a little rough when it first launched, but I haven't followed up on it. Either way, if you miss Pathfinder 3.5, but you also like 5th edition, I feel like Level Up Advanced 5e is the perfect marriage of 1st edition Pathfinder and 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. That would be my elevator pitch to anybody that's interested. Like, if you want a bit more crunch and you want like more equitable mechanics, then I feel like Advanced Level Up is definitely where you should be at. Like, if you are unsatisfied with 5th edition D&D, but you don't want to go play Pathfinder 2, but you can't convince everybody to go back to play Pathfinder 1, I feel like this is it. This is the game. This is a nice fusion of those things. So, and as a person that's played it and DM'd it, I do get caught off guard sometimes by some of the crazy shit my marshals can do, right? Because I'm used to like what people can do because I run a lot of D&D. And so when I roll up on a marshal and all of a sudden they're like, actually no, I can actually do something. I'm like, what? But you're a ranger. Rangers can't do anything. Like, what do you mean you can do something? So that's been taking some adjustment to get used to. It's like, what do you mean you do something? That guy's 50 feet away and you're a melee character. It's like, I throw my sword. I'm like, well, that's okay, sure. Like, I guess. But yeah, it's been really, really fun. It's been really, really fun. We're almost.
What's my last thing to say? Favorite third-party content.
Oh.
There's this adventure on TTRPG called that was one of my favorite map makers. Heroic Maps did it. It's called Lanternwick Heights.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm,
I appreciate it. Nice little shout there. That is technically some third-party content there. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Lanternwick Heights. Let me see. Oh yeah, look at that. There's a little venture bundle. Yeah, that's nice. Man, I appreciate it. Since we're at time, and I said I would do mine last, I'm going to tell you guys what my favorite third-party product is that I'm the most thankful for. Have you ever wanted to play Dungeons & Dragons, but with an ancient Greek mythology feel, but you didn't actually want to do Greek mythology because you'd get a Greek mythology geek in your group that would correct everything because they know everything about Greek mythology, but you just wanted the flavor of Greek mythology, but you wanted it to kind of be a little anime at the same time and maybe have some Baldur's Gate sprinkled on top? Have I got news for you? There's this campaign called Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, baby, and that's third party. I don't even know what system it's for because it just says 5e in the bottom right corner. It could be anything. I'm running it in Dungeons & Dragons, though, and I'm having a pretty good time with it. This is definitely by far my the thing I'm the most thankful for. I've had a tremendous amount of success running this campaign, and I have had a tremendous amount of emotional baggage, growth, experience. It's been a huge part of my life for two and a half years now. I don't know. I would not be the same person that I am today if I had not run this campaign, and this campaign would not exist if they didn't have the rules set up so that people could write content for the rules. So third party content is important, and this is by far, no contest, my favorite third-party product. It has a lot of flaws. It's 570 pages of confusing, conflicting information, plot holes, and terribly balanced encounters. But you know what? It's a great story. It's an amazing story. It's a very cool concept, and it's just, I love it. I love it. I wouldn't have run it twice if I didn't love it that much. So yeah, that's my ultimate third edition, or not third edition, but third party content that I'm most thankful for on this day of giving thanks. So yeah. So all right, well, we're at time and we're trying to stick to that schedule. So Thank you, everybody. If we didn't have time to look at the ones that you shouted out in chat, or if you shouted them out in Discord and we didn't cover everything, Lexia says it's 500 plus pages of GM guidelines. Yeah, pretty much. It's like the screenplay versus the script, if you know what I mean. It's like, this would be a cool adventure, right? Let's try to run it together. That's kind of where it's at. But anyways, if we didn't shout your stuff out, if you have stuff that you really love and you really care about, I guess if this is a VOD, throw it in the comments. If not, head over to Discord, drop it into chat, start a conversation about it, link to your favorite stuff. It's Black Friday right now, so there's a good chance that everything we talked about, you could probably find it on super sale right now. So if you have creators that you want to support, hop onto Discord and start shouting out like links and sales and all that. And yeah. We've got coming up this next week, tomorrow, Red-Handed Doom. Not streamed, but happening. Curse of Strahd Classic tomorrow night. Sunday morning, Curse of Strahd Daybreak. Sunday night.
They're gonna be ahead of us now.
For a little while, till Christmas. Then we got the Mythic Odyssey Sunday night. We got Odyssey Prime Monday night.
Sandroom.
We've got nothing happening on Tuesday. Tentative question mark. Monster Hunter continues on Wednesday. And then Curse of Strahd Nightfall continues on Thursday. And then Orpheus is running a game on Friday nights, which I think resumes next Friday. It's a rhyme game. And then Dom and I will be back next Friday to talk about something else. And that's what our week's looking like. So, maybe we will see you at one of those streams. Maybe we'll see you on Discord. Otherwise, we will see you next time.
Alrighty, take care.
Yep, enjoy your holiday, everybody.
Alright.
Cool. I'm muted.